Hey, Be Like Lilies. This is video number 13, and it's sort of an extra Harvey update. My parents' house was not affected by the flood, although they were out for quite a while, and the water got like within 2 feet of the house, basically 2 to 4 feet. But their neighborhood where I grew up is virtually crushed. I mean, there are maybe only 4 houses on their street that were not flooded. And so for the neighborhood as a whole, it was probably 90% flooded. And I'm thinking that that's what was a similar case for most other neighborhoods in Houston or any of the towns where it flooded. My sister evacuated Orange when her house was flooding. So she knew for a fact that water was getting inside. And while she was evacuated, nobody had any idea how bad it was getting. So it was like several days of a whole lot of worry and fret that either everything was going to be lost or maybe just the furniture was lost or whatever, because they're really close to the Sabine River, and the Sabine River Authority kept releasing more water. And then day before she went back, she got this video that showed her street and neighboring streets, and you could see her husband's car in the out front, and it looked like water was like halfway up the car. So I mean, there, and that was the day that was filmed, the day they left. So I think everybody was assuming that they had like 6 feet of water in their house. Well, they were able to go back, and it turned out to be only about 5 inches of water got in their house, which is sort of fantastic and an answer to prayers, but they're still having to muck out the whole house. They've lost all the furniture. She said that pictures and frames on the wall were wavy. Books, like just from the humidity inside the house, books and other things are possibly ruined. So, it's still a challenging effort, but she has a lot of family there that's helping her. But I just wanted to share that for those in and around Texas, and now for those being affected by Hurricane Irma, remember to take care of yourself. Remember that if you have to deal with immediate issues of like evacuation or recovery afterwards, remember to take care of your mental self also. I know that I was being affected in the last couple of weeks, like since the hurricane hit and since my family was evacuated. I know that I was being affected by it, and I wasn't flooded. And I'm not trying to say, oh, poor me, I'm still hurting, when my sister's house actually was flooded and she's dealing with it, and other people have actually lost everything and they're dealing with it. But I am saying that, like, don't try to, it's like survivor guilt. Don't try to say that you can't suffer simply because other people have it worse. Yes, other people have it worse. Other people always have it worse. This still doesn't mean that your mental health means nothing. So for those that are dramatically, immediately affected by water and losing your home and losing property and things like that, you definitely have things to fix and recover and tangible things to deal with right now. But don't put your mental state in a closet in your head. And because I've done that in the past, and when I put my mental problems, my grief over, I had thyroid cancer when I was in my 20s, and I didn't deal with a lot of the grief immediately. I was just dealing with the recovery and getting back to my job and doing other things. And when I had to open that door about a year later, there was a hurricane inside. Hurricane, like I'm talking about hurricanes. I mean, I literally felt like it was like this tornado storm behind that door in my head, and all the emotions coming out. So, that's where I'm saying, for those who have acute situations that they have to deal with, don't forget about your head. Don't forget about your feelings. And for those who are seeing it happen or have family that are affected, you're still affected also. So if you're feeling some of those grief kind of feelings, or getting really mad, or getting really despondent, or despairing about the situation, remember that those feelings are also very real, and it's okay to have them. So deal with them as you see fit. I thankfully had another therapist appointment scheduled for this week, and I'm going today. So yay! I get to kind of hash that out and get my own little boost from it. But I can say that, like, for the last week or so, especially when my sister's situation was unknown, it was really hard for me in the house. And it's not like I was incapable of doing anything, but I mean, I had my times of, why am I just sitting here and I'm not doing anything? Why am I not washing the dishes? Why am I not cooking dinner? I'm just, one of them was like when, I think when my parents' house, when we discovered that it probably was safe, within about 30 or 40 minutes of hearing that news, I think I had like an adrenaline crash. I think I'd been held up on adrenaline, really worried about that house for so long. And as soon as we found out it was safe, that just went away. And I was like exhausted for about 30 or 40 minutes. My husband was like, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? And I just stood there in the kitchen, was like, I literally couldn't even say anything. I was like, I gotta go sit down, and I just went to my room and sat down, and he made dinner. And it was afterwards that I said, I really think I just had an adrenaline crash where I couldn't do anything. So, it can be normal when things like that happen. I just want everyone to remember to take care of yourselves, especially, everybody. If you're mucking out your house, remember to take some time. It's okay to grieve the loss of your home and your property and the situation that you were in, and the fact that you went from normal to flood survivor, in a short period of time. It's okay to grieve that situation. So remember that, and also remember, I'm not a mental health expert. I'm just a mom who's had anxiety and depression, and I'm just trying to share my experiences with other moms. So, you can hear what I say and say, forget it. She doesn't know what she's talking about. So, that's up to you. That's totally fine. I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to help out and continue to say some prayers for those involved. And I'll see you later.